Ya YouTubers, Tasman here, bringing you another episode of Foundry Virtual Tabletop version 12 from the ground up. And in our last episode, we kind of looked at just some of the things that the module Fandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that title. Fandelver and Below the Shattered Obelisk. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then I was thinking, what would be beneficial to help you get started? I mean, this is kind of throwing you in the deep end with all the different options and everything. And I was thinking maybe what we should do is actually show you building a character, basically using the compendiums that it gives you, and how you could do that. Now there is a module that we're going to be going over, because if you have a D&D Beyond account, you can actually use the SRD stuff there and create a character, and then you simply copy the link of that character and paste it into the D&D Beyond importer. I want to get its name right. And it just imports the character. So you build it on D&D Beyond, which has all the stuff, and has a really nice way of getting a character together. So if I do BEY, maybe not. How about D&D? And maybe I haven't even downloaded it in this instance yet. Turn off Gav's lock. How about D&D? No. Okay, so maybe I don't have it on here just yet. But it will be one of the modules that we are going to be going over. I believe it's by... I'm just drawing a blank on everything now. I'll tell you later, because I'm drawing a complete blank. Mr. I can't think. But anyway, like I said, we'll be going over it later, and I just wanted to show you how to create a character if you were doing it here. I don't think there is I don't know if you know what WYSIWYG is, but what you see is what you get. That was the term that when programming languages started having an interface, a GUI, they called it WYSIWYG programming, because it's, whatever you see is what you get on the screen. So I don't know, I don't think this actually has anything, but we're going to create a character. We're going to make it be, I want something simple. So let's do a fighter maybe. And then we'll get more advanced as we go. But let's do a fighter, and we'll call, I don't know what we'll call him. What was we called our other guy? Jonathan or something like that? I don't know. We can always change it later. I think it was Jonathan. J-O-H. John. Is it Uthan? Now I'm not thinking that it was Jonathan. Joseph. It was Joseph, I think. J-O-S-E-P. Well, like I said, you guys tell me what you want. I don't have any comments that are from the last episode, so I don't have anything to read there. We'll just go ahead and put it in this default folder, or we could quickly create a folder, I guess. I don't know if it'll update that, but let's go ahead and create one. We'll just say players. P-L-A-Y-E. Oh, wow, I actually spelled it right. Let's go ahead and make this kind of a purpley color, something like that. And we'll go ahead and create the folder. And I don't think it'll actually register that, because when this window was rendered and created, it didn't have that one. So we'll go ahead and create Joseph here. And as you can see, because I have my screen shrunk down, you can't see everything, but you can scroll and stuff like that to see more. So basically, when you're creating a character, first you want to know what you're going to make. Let's I don't know. Let's maybe make a half orc fighter, and let's just see how this works, because I don't know that I've really ever made one this way. So if we come into, I think features is where it is. So we can click on, is one of these the add one? No. Oh, add class. Oh, it does actually have some stuff for you. So if we say add class, we're going to go ahead and make a fighter, because it's going to be easy. This is not using the 2024 rules. It's using SRD 5.1. I imagine at some point in the near future they'll add the 2024 SRD or OGL or whatever they're going to call it. So as you can see here, as a fighter, we can see all the different things that we need to do to make our fighter. To actually add our fighter, I believe all we have to do is drag fighter from here, click on the words and drag it and put it in there. And it says at level 1, you basically get 10 hit points because it's your full hit dice. And then it'll be your constitution modifier, but we don't have a constitution modifier as of yet, so it's just going to be 10. It also says these are going to be our saving throws, will be strength and constitution. So this is all, I'll show you where all this stuff is. So we'll hit next there. It's going to tell us that we get to choose 2 skills. So as a fighter, I think intimidation is definitely a decent one to have. And maybe athletics, strength, jumping, pushing, all that fun stuff, athletics. So we'll go ahead and go with those 2. And then let's see. So as you can see here, it also tells you your armor training. You have light, medium, heavy, and you get shields, which is pretty much everything as far as armor goes. And here you'll see under weapon proficiency, you have simple and martial, which is all simple weapons, all martial weapons. That's all weapons. So a fighter can pretty much pick up any weapon and use it without any penalties. Then we can see here that we get to choose a fighting style, which I believe this will actually take us through, and second wind. If we don't know what second wind is and we want to know, we just click it, and here you can see you have a limited well of stamina that you can draw on to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. So in this case, it's 1d10 plus 1 because we're level 1. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. So there you go. That explains what it is. The fighting style, I think, comes up in the next one. It's going to have us choose what kind of fighter we are. So let's go ahead and hit next. And here we go. Fighting style. So are we a ranged fighter? Are we a defensive fighter? Are we going to be a dueling fighter, a great weapon fighting fighter, protection, or 2-weapon? I think, like, if we have, I want, because this is our tank, they're definitely going to have a shield because they're proficient with it, and they're going to have a sword. So it's going to be a one-handed sword. I think this is a decent one for that, although defense is also good for that. When you roll a 1 or 2 on a damage dice for an attack that you make with a melee weapon, you are wielding with 2 hands. You can re-roll the dice. So this definitely does not seem like what we want, as it is saying that we're 2-hand. This is what protection is. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack. That one definitely says that it's if you're wielding a shield. I think that one sounds like what we're looking for. So what this means is that if I have a friend that's next to me and a bad guy attacks that person or a mob attacks that person, I can say, you have disadvantage on that roll. Now, is this it does not say that it is a thing that it's just a reaction, so it's using your reaction, but it's not something that you only get to use once a day or you have to take a short rest. It looks like every turn you get 1 reaction, so for that reaction I can always say that I'm using protection on my friend, and now that hit that they're rolling is going to be with disadvantage. So there we go, and that will complete that portion. So if we close this now, I'm surprised it doesn't have something that pops up saying, what's your race? Although that might be... Let's go look on the front one. Maybe it was in there. Maybe I just missed it. Oh, here we go. Add species, add background. So, yeah, that's pretty good. So I think what we're going to do is maybe a half-orc. Nice thing about half-orcs is they have a special ability that if they go down to 0 hit points, they actually come back up with 1 hit point. So it kind of just gives them that little extra push, maybe to at least get 1 more hit in. I guess if I click that, that's better. So that is, where is it? Relentless endurance. When you're used to 0 hit points, but not killed outright, you can drop to 1 hit point instead. So if you're not killed outright, but you're brought down to 0, you can actually come back up. You can't use this feature until you finish a long rest. So it's a one-time thing, but still pretty good. So let's go ahead, and I don't have a lot of room to do the dragging and stuff. But the nice thing is it doesn't matter. I don't have to drag it actually onto that. I can just drag half-orc into here, and you'll see it actually does it. So what this is going to do is it's going to give me a +2 to my strength, which right now everything is at the base, which is 10. So that takes strength up to 12, and it gives me a 1 to my constitution, which is my health, which is a +1 to that. So we'll go ahead and hit next. This tells you about your size, so now it's giving you the information about your character. You're usually from 5 to well over 6 feet tall. You're considered a medium creature. You are intimidating, which is kind of good that we have intimidation. Looks like we know Common and Orc. Doesn't have any other ones that we can learn. Common is just the basic language that everyone usually can speak. Then we have relentless endurance and savage attacks. Savage attacks, if we want to look real quick, when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice 1 additional time and add it to the extra damage of the critical hit. So that's pretty good. Usually, depending on your DM, when you get a crit hit, the way I do it is basically if I do 1d6 plus, let's say 3 or something like that. Well, usually as a fighter, you're probably doing 1d8, 1d10 or something like that. Let's say 1d8, just to give a little more damage. So 1d8 plus 3, which means I can, basically get anything from 4 to 11 damage. Well, if you get a crit hit, the way I do it is you pretend that you get an extra die, that's a 1d8, and that's automatically an 8. And then you roll a 1d8 plus your modifier. This is saying that you actually get to roll yet another d8, but this one is rolled. So now you're actually doing 1d8 that's a full d8, and then 2d8 plus your modifier for that damage. Hopefully that made sense. So that's what that one's saying. So let's go and complete that, and now we have our species. I'm going to say race, but it's now called species. Finally, we have our background, the only background in the SRD. Oh, actually, because we're using our Fandelver below the shattered obelisk, you see we have a lot more than just Acolyte. So as a fighter, I'm probably going to be, out of this, I might be a soldier, or I might be maybe a folk hero. Criminal could work as well. Maybe I'm going to say folk hero. If we click on this, we can see all the different things. This is going to give us a skill proficiency in animal handling and survival. It's going to give us a feature called rustic hospitality, which among common folk, they're in awe of you and stuff like that. They will shield you from the law or anyone else searching for you. They will not risk their lives for you. So they do have a limit. So I think we'll do that one. Actually, I guess we could just click on the thing here now. So if I could get it to come up. There we go. So we can click, I don't know, yep, it did click. And then we can hit select. So that's going to give us our animal handling and survival. This is going to give you a quick rundown. We also get an additional proficiency in tools. So as a fighter, let's say that we can do wood carver, weavers, tinkers, smiths. Smith tools would be like, maybe you could use that for fixing your weapons. That kind of seems like a decent one. Could also be a cook. That's good for anything. All right, let's go smith. And then, so we have land vehicle, which means we can actually ride horses or carts, carriages, whatever you want to call them, and such. So let's go ahead and click next. Looks like we start out as a folk hero. We actually get a shovel, an iron pot. Oh, should have been a cook. Common clothes, and a small coin pouch. And this coin pouch, as you can see here, contains 10 gold. Alright, so let's go in next. We also have that rustic hospitality, and then we can, what is this? Folk hero. We get an artisan tool as well. So maybe we should have Smith's tool since we have proficiency in it now. So drop an item here to choose it. Drop an item? I don't know what that means. Like take one of these and just drop it here? Is that what they're saying? No, I can't drag that there. Smith's tools. Actually, I can't drag that anywhere. Yeah, just check mark. We're good with check mark. Alright, so let's hit complete. And now we have those things. So the next thing we definitely want to do is actually make it so our different attributes are not all zeros or tens. Oh, they're up here actually. So as you can see, we have a 10. We have the +2 here, the +1 there, but everything else is 10. So this is where you might want to roll your dice first. So you know what all your different attributes are. We're going to use the standard array, which means we have the following. We have, and I think this might have changed, at least it did in Tales of the Valiant, which is Kobold's Presses. Kind of, it's not a new RPG, but it's based off of basically Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It's completely compatible with it, but it has some additional things. So the standard array is 15, 14, 13, the other kind of comma. Whoa, I don't know what I did. Oh, I do know what I did. I had F12. So hit comma, and then 12, 10, and then a dump stat of 8. I think that's right. So if we want a fighter, generally we want lots of strength or lots of constitution or more constitution to give us this. So if we do 15 here, so we can add, basically we subtract 10 from each of these. Those are actually the numbers we would add to what we have here. So one of these would be -2. Let's say we're not very charismatic. We're a half orc. I need to go into edit mode here. So let's go ahead and we'll put the 8 here. And that one we can just actually put 8 because that's already there. We'll leave our intelligence at the 10. We'll add 2 to our wisdom. So we'll go to 12 there. And then we have 15, 14, and 13. So I'm thinking, so just so you know, if you don't know already, strength is how strong you are. You know, how hard I can hit with a melee weapon. Your dex is basically how hard I can, you know, how good I am at shooting ranged weapons, but also how hard am I to be hit. Does that make sense? How hard is it to hit me? Maybe that's better. And then constitution, as we said, is your health. So I kind of like to be a little hard to hit. So what we could do if we added 3, since all we have to do is subtract 10 from each of these, other than that one just goes down. Oh, and this one's a +0. So basically, if I want to be a little harder to hit, we can put our 13 here. So that'll be 13 now. So that basically gets rid of those. And now we have a 15 and a 14. So we can add 5 to this, or we could add 5 to this. Now, if I added the 4 to this and the 5 to this, we basically, I think, have the same number for both of them. So that would be 16 here and 16 here, which could be pretty good. I think that's a +3? No, +4, I think, which is actually good. That gives us a decent health that'll add to our health. Maybe we'll do that. So let's go ahead and set this to 16 because we're adding 4 there, and we'll add the 5 here, which also gives us 16 there. So now if we look, you can see our health automatically adjusted to say that we have 13 hit points now instead of just the 10. Current is 10, so we do need to up that to 13 and hit enter. We can turn off this, I believe, now, and we'll be able to see everything else. So everything else is automatically adjusting based off of the values we put in there. So as you can see, our dump stat is our charisma, so we're not very good at lying, which, you know, could be kind of fun to play. Performing, we're not good at that. Persuading, we're better at the intimidation than we are at the persuading. You can see our languages here. You can see what proficiencies we have and stuff like that. If we go down the list here, we can see the items we actually have. Obviously, we don't have any weapons yet. We're going to get those. The coin pouch. Oh, it's right here. It's kind of weird that that didn't add the coins here. So maybe what I'll do is I'll 0 this one out and give us 10 gold here. All right, so if we come into our features, I believe what we'd want to do now is actually purchase our armor, purchase our weapons, and anything else. If you go into, I believe, the compendium here, and we go here and look at our, I believe it's the class. So if we go under the Shattered Obelisk, nope, not that one, sorry. We want to go, is it player options, backgrounds? Nope, not that one either. It's not bestiary. It's, no. Which one shows us our classes? Why am I not seeing it? Actually, let's just go to the SRD. I know it's there. So if we come under our SRD, go to character features, go to classes, go to fighter. Here we will see what we actually get as starting items. So if we come under is it description, I believe. So here we can see, unless they don't actually do it anymore. But let's find out. You get the 10 hit points plus your modifier, your hit dice, armor, shield, weapons, saving throw, insight. That's martial archetypes. I thought it was here. Oh, here it is. Starting equipment. Did it not? It didn't give us the starting. Oh, because we get to choose. So I think what we do actually. Sorry, I'm kind of new to this as well. So if we go to our features, click on the fighter, which I believe will pull up that same. Do we have to click on this again? No. I would think you click on that, but obviously this is where your level is. Let's go back to that compendium, and all we have to do basically is drag it from there. So under the details tab here, our starting equipment. So also your starting wealth. The money that we had was from our background. And this is actually stuff we get. So let's go. This is going to be a little squishy. We're going to go to inventory. And I think all we have to do is drag it from here to there. Now, the difference between having our chainmail and having leather armor, we can actually drag them both off. But one thing about having chainmail over the leather armor, leather armor, you can actually add your dex no matter how much it is. I don't think our dex is very high to be on. Yeah, it's not really gonna matter. But one of the big things, if we are wearing the chain armor, you will see under stealth that we should get disadvantage. So if we go into our thing here, this is probably more info than you guys care about. If we equip it and then go back to our front here, you can see our to hit now, our armor class is that, and I thought it would say somewhere here that we get disadvantage. Unless they changed it. I don't know. I don't think they did. But let's see. So we're equipping the chain. Let's see if here it says it. Stealth disadvantage. So it does say it here. Maybe it just does it when you are rolling stealth. We could check that. I'm going to shrink this up and shrink this up real quick. Just by double clicking the header. I just want to see. Actually, I guess I didn't want this one. So if we went to stealth, even though it doesn't say disadvantage there, I'm curious if it's going to roll with disadvantage. So if we click on stealth and say we wanted to do a stealth check right there. And I guess it's telling you to do it here. So you just have to know. I might have to look into that because if I say normal, I don't think it's going to roll with disadvantage. We rolled a nat 1. That is terrible. Yeah. I thought that it would actually automatically put a little icon here saying that it's with disadvantage, but it's not doing that. So that is definitely one of the disadvantages of wearing chainmail. Now, if I had a high enough dex, it could actually be more beneficial for me to wear leather or studded leather, which even gives you an additional one. If we go look here, you'll see that 12 definitely is not better than 16. So we're going to definitely take that 16. We'll go ahead and just get rid of the leather armor. So we'll click here and say delete. Alright, now I need to go grab this guy, put it somewhere that I can actually see it better. Alright, so we can choose chainmail or leather armor. We get a longbow and 20 arrows. And it looks like, so let's go ahead and grab our longbow. Throw it in there. Throw in arrow. And I think it'll automatically default to 20. Actually, it doesn't. I'm surprised. So there's 20 arrows. We also can choose any martial melee weapon, any shield, or 2 martial melee weapons. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to click the plus. We're going to say we want, actually this is a new item. This isn't the browse. Sorry. Did it actually create a new item? Alright, I'm going to shrink this up again. We're going to go to the compendium. We're going to come down to the Fandelver and below because this is going to have more items. We are going to choose a shield. So we'll search SHIELD. That is, oh, maybe. That's a ring of shielding. Alright. Under equipment, I think there are shields. Unless these are just special. Let's go look at the SRD ones then. Items and spells. Item SRD. SHI. There, animated shield. No, that's a special one. SHIELD. Okay. So it's just standard shield. It's not going to be anything super nice. So there's our standard shield. And then we also get, I guess we could just keep that, we could have kept that one open. Let's go ahead and maybe do SWORD. We'll just give it a good old sword. Maybe I think a long sword is 1 or 2 hands. And we can tell here if it has a versatile property. So yeah, let's just do a long sword, just a regular long sword. We're just level 1, so we're not gonna have super nice stuff yet. And then let's go back to our thing and see what else we get. We also can have a crossbow, 20 bolts, which is kind of interesting. I guess we'll take that, sure. Crossbow, 20 bolts. Let's come down here, add our bolts to 20. There we go. And, or we can have a hand axe, and then we can have a Dungeoneer pack or an Explorer's pack. We're just going to take the Explorer's pack. Now, the neat thing about the Explorer's pack is it actually has everything in it. So if we drag this on here, you'll see that now we have an Explorer's pack up here, and you can see it has torch, ration, water skin. So everything else that you usually have. So I think, trying to think, is that pretty much all we need? And then of course we have our starting wealth. We could just grab this, hit Control C. We already have 10 from our background, and then if we come here, our starting wealth. Now you might actually have a DM that makes you buy your starting equipment. I usually don't care that much. So we're gonna have 140 gold, so 150 gold total, which is actually really good. We actually rolled pretty good on that 5d4. 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So there we go. I believe our character is done with just a couple exceptions, and this would be stuff on the DM side, because your players might not have access to do this. So if you click on the portrait right here, we can, sorry, I need to go into edit mode. If you click on the portrait or token, I thought it was right here. Is it? Let's configure armor. Oh, there we go. Now if you click on the portrait, so we're going to go into the assets that I have. We're going to go to tokens. We're going to do heroes, and we're going to look at, I think there's actually orcs in here, half orcs. So we have half orcs. Let's go ahead and look at images of them. Those are some really small half orcs. And see if any of them have, maybe we should give ourselves a great axe instead, but they're supposed to have a shield. I guess it doesn't matter. It's just a token. So let's just choose one. And now sometimes this sets itself. I think it actually will, but I like to copy this, hit select file. So now you can see there's our portrait. If we click on token, it actually looks like it's the same, so it probably did keep it. But as a GM, you can click on prototype token up here, and you can say that I want the name always shown for everyone, which I like to do. Under appearance, you can see it actually did take it, but if it didn't, you can actually paste it in here, and then when you click update token, it will actually update the token with stuff. The vision should automatically be done. And then under resources, I also like to set this to always for everyone for player tokens. For mobs, I usually say just always for owner. That way I can keep track of them. Click update token. And now if we drag this guy, we're going to put him inside the players folder and put that in there as well. So now what we can do, and this we'll have to do with the other tokens as well, is you click on the party and you just drag him in there. And now you can see we have Joseph in here. And like I said, if you guys want to change his name, tell me what you want to change it to. And then, you know, you can see this is the party's inventory and stuff. This is the description for the party. You can set it to whatever you want. It's showing the aggregate hit points. Right now it's just 13 because that's all we have. One member in the party. The nice thing is like on this map, we can actually, maybe that's just Pathfinder. On Pathfinder 2E, you can actually right-click on it, and there's an unpack, which will unpack all the players out of the token. And then you can also right-click it, and there will be a pack them back in once they've been unpacked, which is kind of cool. But you'll get to see that soon enough. All right, so we've made Joseph. I'll probably just maybe import or something my other characters. We'll have a rogue, a cleric, and I don't know. You guys tell me what else. What else should we have? We have a fighter, rogue, cleric, and let me know what. Oh, we need a caster, maybe a wizard. So I'll try and have those ready for the next time. I'm pretty sure this guy is ready to rock. All his stuff is here. He doesn't have any spells. He does have his savage attacks, which is a passive effect. No biography stuff as of yet. That's something that can be added. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Go ahead and turn off the edit mode, and we're ready to go. So in the next episode, what I would like to do is, kind of show from the player view and the GM view. I was also thinking it's really shouldn't be that big of a spoiler to look at the what was it called? Goblin Ambush. The first starter set had this adventure in it. Basically, if you don't know, I think I said this last time, but Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk, is basically the old starter kit, which is the Lost Mine of Phandelver, plus this new adventure, which continues off of the Lost Mine of Phandelver. So what we're actually going to do is the very first part of Lost Mine of Phandelver. Like I said, it shouldn't really be that big of a spoiler since it's been years. I think it was pre-COVID that the starter set came out. So at least 4 years ago. So I think we're going to end it there. Sorry, this is a long video, but hopefully you enjoyed it all the same. Yeah, if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click that little notification bell. Join my Discord channel. Tell other people about my channel. I always forget what I say in this. Tell other people about my channel. I'm check it out. If they like what they see, they can join it, sub to it, and we grow the channel. Everybody wins in that case. And that is it, my friends. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.